Blake threw up his hands in a double shaka sign, fingers and thumbs extended, and was about to shout something back when the intercom buzzed with static as door bolts snapped like gunshots, making him jump. Blake froze for a moment of rare uncertainty, but then pushed the door open and stepped inside. He entered into a short, dark passageway lit only by the soft amber glow of the room ahead. A beaded curtain covered the doorway, obscuring a clear view of what to expect. "Come in. I've been waiting for you." The voice was deep, dry, and had an almost musical edge to it. Blake pushed on through the curtains to be met by a tall, thin man in an old dark suit. He was leaning against the far side of an old mahogany counter. His head was shaved. It was hard to put an age on him. He could have been anywhere from 35 to a well-kept 70. "Waiting for me?" Lazar asked, his eyes glancing around him. He was looking at row upon row of shelving and cupboards, fronts of all sizes, all of them built in that same polished mahogany. It had the appeal of an apothecary, but the air smelled like a funeral home. Glass display cabinets sat on the countertops and hugged the far wall, all of them filled with jug paraphernalia. "Yes, sir. Waiting for you, but mine not. My time here is of no real importance." Blake watched the tall man brush invisible dust from his sleeves. The place appeared spotless, just antiquated. Lazar double looked at him, thinking, is this guy for real? And he remembered why he was here. "Alright, cool man, cool. This place is, kinda interesting. Look, I don't usually do this, but my people said you wouldn't deal with anyone else but me, but honestly, this isn't what I was expecting. You like, the guy I need to talk to?" "Indeed. I am the guy," the man said back to him, leaving an uncomfortable silence hanging. Okay, I'm here for the man straightened, gliding up to a full height and raising a finger up to his lips. Blake realized now this guy wasn't leaning onto the counter. He was ridiculously tall, easily 7 feet, pro basketball height. Blake puffed himself up subconsciously without realizing it. He was the big man here, not to be shoved by a creepy dealer. He was about to say something to that effect when again the man spoke. "You're here for the stuff, the package. She's dope." Of course you are, and I'm here to provide my expertise and my service, ensuring that you get exactly what you need. What I offer is not what you find anywhere, for I only deal with a select group of very important people, because what I provide is very important. Blake's ego was sated, and he found himself listening to the melodic rise and fall of the tall man's voice. "Tell me, sir, have you been to a fine restaurant and encountered a sommelier?" About 5 years ago, Blake wouldn't have had a clue what sommelier was, but that didn't stop him from dropping a fortune at a swanky LA restaurant, filming the whole thing as he and his crew wrecked up a jaw-dropping tag of Phillips' wine. A sommelier, some poor guy trying to keep it classy, dutifully poured the finest choices. Blake crew roasted on Montana, swishing 9,000 bottles of wine like mouthwash before loading into a super soaker and blasting it beats into each other's mouths. It was outrageous, tasteless, but still had racked up millions of views. Yeah, Blake acknowledged. Wine waiters. The man didn't have any eyebrows, so he had none to raise as he replied. "My role is perhaps a similar one. You can get anything you want from the streets, but what I sell is prestige, rarity, history." "Do you like to be one with prestige, Lazar?" Lazar nodded as he replied. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dog." The man continued unfazed. "I deal what can't be found elsewhere. In 2018, a bottle of Domini di la Romani Conti sold for $500,000. Not for the taste, but because it was the last for the year the war has ended. People weren't just drinking wine, they were drinking history. That's what I offer. Provenance, authenticity. You buy off the streets, you get history. Here, where it comes from is everything. Lazar was finding himself sold so far on the idea. He hit his vape, throwing out a big cloud above him. God, I think I'm feeling your vibes, so what you got? Have anything you want, all from history. he announced, moving to open one of the smaller cabinet drawers behind him with a flourish. Elvis Presley's last packet of Percodan. Only one tablet was. He stooped over to another drawer that hissed when it opened as if hermetically sealed. Keith Ledger's Oxycontin out of his very pocket. Johnny Cash's amphetamines, Michael Jackson's diazepam, Kurt Cobain's Diabar, Spears the highs, the greatest icons in history. Is there anything else of interest to you so far? I have more, many more. Lasar only shrugged his shoulders and sucked at his teeth. This is all you got? It's like leftovers from yesterday's celeb, bro. I'm way bigger than that. Thought this was gonna be something special, you know? This is weird, man, bro. I need something bigger. I need something bigger. Something like next level. Bigger than Elvis. Lasar threw out a shit-eating grin with a mock voice saying, "Oh, I'm bigger than Elvis, baby." Again, hitting his custom vape to create another huge cloud like a fog machine for his act. As it cleared, Blake's eyes were drawn to something high on the shelf. A gloss black woven box intricately carved with letters embossed onto the front edge, packed out in gold leaf, and for a moment, all the world around him seemed to blur into significance. "What's that, bro?" Lasar spoke up, pointing. The tall man didn't turn around to follow the direction of Lasar's fingers. Instead, he simply said, "No." "No?" Lasar responded, furrowing his brow. "No, I don't think that's for you." "Yo, fuck you, man. Don't play with me. Show me the good shit. I'm not here to get played or have you holding out on me. I'm not here fronted for some chuggy tricks. You even know who I am?" The tall man was about to say something, but instead paused and slowly nodded. "You are Lasar Jonas, celebrity influencer and performer." "I'm the celebrity influencer, bro. 200 million subs. Now show me that bad boy up there." The tall man stretched out his arms, slender fingers wrapping around the box, which he carefully placed on the counter. Blake could see the golden letters clearly now. HPL. HPL? What's that, like you smoke it? HPL is not a what, sir? The who? Howard Phillips Lovecraft. You, of course, have heard of H.P. Lovecraft. I've never heard of such a cool box, though. What's inside? Again, sir, I really don't think this is for... But Blake cut him off, raising his hand as if stopping traffic. "Look, I want something special. I'm not walking out of here with a half strip of Percodan. I need something that will impress." "What's inside?" "This, sir, is Mr. Lovecraft's personal stash, his own blend of marijuana from 1937. Though it's a sealed box, I really couldn't vouch in good conscience as regarded its true potency." "So what's this Lovecraft dude even do? Like, what's his deal?" "He was an impeccable writer of horror stories, sir, but only a true recognition upon his demise. He's famous now, like, legit." "Oh yes, sir, he left quite a person, still influencing work to this very day." "Shit, influencer, he's like me. You know what, fuck it, I'll take it." "Like I said, sir, I don't think this is for you." Lasar looked agitated. He was a man not used to not getting what he wanted. This conversation had swung back and too far for too long, Lasar thought. He had other shit to do, and he really wanted that box. He clenched his fist as he spoke. "Now look, stop being a creepy NPC. I said I'll take it. HB Crafty Love Stash. I'm in. How much?" For a split second, the man appeared to grow even taller, and Blake felt that chill he experienced earlier return. But the man just nodded before carefully placing a box into a brown paper bag. "So what's this gonna hit me for?" Lasar asked, not demanded. "No charge, sir. Consider this a gesture of goodwill," the man replied, a reptilian smile growing ever wider as he handed over the bag. Staring down into Lasar's eyes, he added, "I'll look forward to our next transaction." Weird, creepy motherfucker, Lasar thought to himself. Makes me go through all this performative bullshit and doesn't even want my money. Well, fuck him. I'll never be coming back here. Free stash, though. Another win for Lasar. All he said was, "Okay, nice one, bro," before snatching up the paper bag and handing out through the beaded curtain and towards the exit. Just before he reached the door, he heard a man raise his voice one final time. "Sir, I hope this birthday delivers everything that you deserve." Blake rolled his eyes. "Yeah, whatever." The door clicked open and he emerged squinting into the Miami sun.